Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Musical People and Journeys, a new rock album review show. Wow, welcome to my panel, to Ian, to Trish, to Chris, to Dave, and to Paul. If it's your first time tuning into the show, we are reviewing the latest rock albums, and this will be our 404th album that we have reviewed, ladies and gentlemen, which is fantastic. And today's offering is Robert, Jon and the Wreck. Once we've listened to the album, we rate it out of 5. Will it reach our Hall of Fame? So Robert, Jon and the Wreck and their album Red Moon Rising. Who are Robert, Jon and the Wreck? Robert, Jon and the Wreck are an American 5-piece blues rock and southern rock band formed in Orange County, California, United States, 2011. The ensemble has released several albums and toured extensively. Their 2021 album Shine a Light on Me Brother was described one reviewer as the best album to date, which is saying a lot. It's a great album from start to finish. The quintet began their journey in February 2011. Within 6 months of the formation, Robert, Jon and the Wreck had undertaken a national tour, playing 60 shows, and Suffery's debut album Fire started. In 2013, the band released their house studios in Hollywood, Los Angeles, and Robert, Jon and the Wreck were named as the best live band in 2013 in the Orange County Music Awards. In 2014, they began touring commitments. The band recorded a second EP, the RedBull Sessions. Less than 6 months later, Robert, Jon and the Wreck recorded again, this time at Sunset Studios in Hollywood. And they've gone on, obviously, from there as well. Red Moon Rising. Let's start with you, Paul, shall we? What did you think of this, mate? Was it this is your bag or not?
My voting will be the deciding factor on that.
But maybe your words, Paul. Maybe your words will enlighten us.
Maybe they will. Maybe it'll be the Dutch effect, because or that I like orange squash, So just rolling off the cuff there with orange, but yeah.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Did you think of that all month, by the way?
Yeah, it took me all months to think about it. Yeah.
Okay. I've got a theory behind that, by the way.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyway, this Orange County Southern blues rock band released the Red Moon Rising album through Joe Bonamassa's Journeyman Records. I mention this sometimes as it feels like some of the guitar work has been heavily influenced by the guitar maestro. That is not to say that this is a bad thing, on the contrary, but you know what to expect when listening to the album. The songs are punchy. Robert Jon has a distinctive vocal, and he uses it to good effect on these tracks, a number of which have previously been released as singles. Fortunately for me, I had not heard of this band before, so this was not a factor, and the album is a grower. From Cold Stone Killer and the balladish Ballad of a Broken-Hearted Man to Red Moon Rising. There are lesser tracks on the album, but I believe we're going to get a lot more of Robert, Jon and the Wreck.
Now, you could describe Ian as a wreck, but not on this occasion, because he's going to reveal what he thinks about Robert Jon.
Yeah, definitely a wreck, 100%. Robert Jon and the Wreck. I think this is probably one of the finest examples of rock blues, Americana rock, that we've heard in quite some time. And it's not to say it's exclusive in great examples. We've had some really cool stuff before, but this is just, if you're gonna record an album, this is a how-to, isn't it? Masterclass. From the intro to Stone Cold Killer with the tremolo arm, bringing the guitar up and working into an absolutely explosive album. Technically, it's fantastic. I just love the energy that comes from most of these tracks. Even when the Ballad of Broken Heart is clearly a ballad, but the energy that pours off that, it's almost not a ballad. It's got that much power to it. It's got the catchiest song of this month for me, Down No More. Oh, that's brilliant. I've been lost, I've been found. I've been singing that all month. absolutely. But it's a fantastic song. Not only is it catchy, it's a really, really good rock song. In fact, they are all fantastic rock songs, and I don't want to go on about each song because, like Chris said earlier this month, I could wax lyrical about all these songs. There wasn't one song I didn't like on this. Absolutely fantastic album, and definitely it was a real battle for me as to whether this was my favourite album this month or not.
Okay, Trish, bit of Jon the Wreck, who you believe we're going to see, aren't we, at some point? I haven't booked my tickets yet, but
I was going to say you haven't booked your tickets, but yeah, I'm going. This album opens with the bang-on track "Stone Cold Killer" and its catchy chorus, swiftly followed by the drum-driven treble. I could dissect each track, but I won't, as this album has all the swagger and vibe of good old-fashioned blues, countryish rock and roll. That's something for everyone, from upbeat to ballads to the eerie album title "Red Moon Rising." You would be doing yourself an injustice if you didn't check this album out.
wow.
Here.
So far, so good. What about Chris? Chris, country rock, your bag, my friend?
So I wouldn't have said so before hearing this album. I was surprisingly engaged by this. I actually quite enjoyed it. The guitar, the lyrical tones, as Ian said, Ballad of Broken Hearts. It's a ballad, but there's a real energy to it as well. I was pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't say it was a perfect album, but there's a lot there for people to enjoy. If you like country but you're not sure about rock, I think there's enough there for you. And if you like rock and you're not sure about country, there's enough there for you as well. I just found surprisingly engaged by it, and I kept coming back.
Somebody we always keep coming back to and is surprisingly engaging. Dave Green, what do you think of is country rock? I know country rock is a bit your cup of tea. I know you kind of go into this genre, so I'm hopefully expecting good things here.
Yeah, no, this sort of blues country rock is definitely my sweet spot. I really, really enjoyed this. There's a hell of a lot to enjoy here. It's one that's been in heavy rotation, will probably continue to be so. I really, really enjoyed it. I will say the one criticism I've got is there's no sort of standout tracks. There was nothing that sort of grabbed me that I could say, yes, that's the best song on the album. But I mean, that possibly speaks to the overall quality throughout, that it all is at a decent standard. There's nothing that's, above and beyond, and you haven't, got the filler in there. But yeah, really, really enjoyed this one. Definitely a standout for this month, that's for sure.
Well, I think there was some standout tracks. Ballad of a Broken Heart, Red Moon Rising, I thought were absolutely quality. You've got to say that in terms of country blues rock, this is, and I agree with Ian, an absolute masterclass. It is of the highest quality country rock that you are going to listen to, but it is country rock, just saying. But it was thoroughly engaging. It was a real grower for me. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think it was an absolutely terrific example of country rock. And now and again, I need that itch. Yeah, I need the itch of country rock. I don't know why, but I just do. And this kind of scratched that itch big time, really. And the other example, which is Backcountry Communion, I thought they kind of blew it out of the water, really. But anyway, right, okay. Well, let's find out. Will this hit our Hall of Fame? But at the minute, it sounded like it's an overwhelming success. Let's find out. Will it get more than 4? Will it get into our Hall of Fame? Paul, let's start with you then.
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Ian?
I gave this a 5. You said it's country rock. It's definitely got a blues element. Don't put off by country, but there's a hell of a lot of blues in it as well. Definitely.
5 from Ian. Trish?
Yeah, it's a 5.
4.
4. Chris?
A 4 from me as well.
Dave?
It's a 4 from me too.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Well, I'm just going to go crazy, and I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go 4.5.
Wow.
Just be a little bit different from that perspective. Trish, we haven't dropped any of your scores, so we're going to drop your 4. Because it's all a 4. There we go. So everybody feels inclusive. 4.3. Our 32. It's in our Hall of Fame. Probably, I think, one of the best country rock albums we've listened to. 32nd out of our 404 albums. 11th of the month. is just outside of automatic slot for album of the year. So who knows? It might get a wild pick. Let's find out, will we, at the end of the year? But do you agree? Do you like country blues rock? What do you think of Robert, Jon and the Wreck? Leave a comment. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much to our wonderful panel, to Paul, to Ian, to Trish, to Chris, and to Dave. And we'll see you again next month. In the meantime, keep on rocking, everybody.
Keep on rocking.
Bye.
Bye.